art in their leisure department. The art is a nationwide organization, and I plan rec activities for adults with disabilities. So I play all day and have the opportunity to come here to do a camp this week with you guys. This is Kenan. She's going to be the assistant here this week. So you can tell a little bit about yourself. What you do.
Yes, I'm a senior at Ball State University in Muncie, Indiana. I'm a physical education and school health major. I'm very happy to be here and hope to make your experience greater.
My name is Lttw. I'm from Omaha, Nebraska. It's my second year with Lttw Training Wheels. I have experience as a peer model, volunteer and staff in recreational therapy. I'm currently a special ed assistant at a high school in Omaha. And as for bike experience, I've done 2 cross-country rides, one north to south, one south to north. So this is kind of a perfect mix of everything that I love to do.
So that's your staff for the week. Some things that we're going to go through at this meeting is just to give you guys a better understanding of what camp is. There's kind of a lot that goes into this sort of bike camp. And then I'm going to walk with you a little bit about what you can expect this week and the next week, as well as train the volunteers as spotters and give you guys a better knowledge of how to select a suitable bike for your riders. So the history for this program is Dr. Richard Klein handcrafted and invented all of the specially adapted bikes that we're going to be using. He spent over 20 years at the University of Illinois in Champaign studying bikes and the mechanics of bikes and how they work. He created a bike that's impossible to ride just because he wanted to. So after a lot of research, he developed the program that you guys are going to see that's implemented across the country. Him and his wife had their first camp in 1999. Then in 2007, Lttw Training Wheels was formed. They had 37 camps across the U.S. 2009, we started school-based programs. And then last summer, we had over 86 different camps across and programs across the U.S. So we're growing tremendously. So in the future, the fall of 2012, Lttw Training Wheels is going to go under a name change. We're going to be called I Can Shine and offer other programs, including the bike program. The bike program is going to be called I Can Bike. There's going to be possibly I Can Swim, I Can Tumble, which would be an adapted gymnastics program. I Can Ski, some things along those lines. So we're very excited about our growth, and just because recreation and play is so important in everyone's life, and it's getting that balance for people who have developmental disabilities to help create an equal playing field for them, and you'll see that with the bike program. Our mission is to teach individuals with developmental disabilities how to ride a regular two-wheel bicycle and in turn become lifelong riders. We don't want the camp to just end here. They work so hard all this week, so it's really important to continue this after camp is over. We do have an 80% success rate, so we have 80% of our riders who are coming in are riding at the end of it. All of them will reach some level of progression in this. So everyone is going to come at a certain level and leave at a higher level, so I can promise you that. What do you guys think some benefits of learning to ride a bike would be for your riders specifically?
Social.
Being able to ride with their friends, with their peers. Anything else that you think that you're hoping to gain from gaining the skill of riding a bike?
Confidence.
Absolutely. You'll see that on the first day. It's inevitable. You'll have one rider who's cruising around here, look at me, I'm doing it, can you see me? Just to have that sense of, since the spotter's not going to be holding the handle, they're having that sense of, I'm doing this on my own. And once they get the opportunity to be on a two-wheeler and finally figure it out, is that sense of freedom that when, in your face, and that sense of independence. So that confidence is definitely going to be improved. Anything else that you guys can think of? Absolutely. The physical benefits of it. Riding a bike is not only a great form of exercise, it's also something that they can be proud of. It's something they can do and feel good about, something they maybe not were always successful with, and now they are successful with it. So it's definitely the physical benefits of it. And physical activity is a proven fact that it improves your quality of life. So just in that little bit of riding a bike, they're definitely getting those benefits. Another big thing is independent transportation. A lot of your riders are young, so it's not quite to that, but I work with a lot of adults, and I do intakes with adults with disabilities, and transportation is always an issue. Even utilizing public transportation, it can be unreliable, things like that. And I ask every one of my intakes, can you ride a bike? I've had one person person tell me that they can. So think about as your rider gets older, this can definitely be a form of transportation to and from work, to and from different activities. You know, it's a way that they can have that social piece. So definitely independent transportation. It's also a sense of inclusion, so that social bit of it. They can ride with their peers. They can ride with the family. You were just talking about going to the Cape and having him be able to ride with you guys. It's definitely a cool bit of what this program does. Also, it changes the family dynamics. If you think about if they have brothers or sisters and they kind of have this idea of, you know, well, we've seen them try it, and, you know, maybe that's not something that's there for them, but watch them ride and figure it out. I've had a sister come to me and say, we didn't think he would ever learn how to ride a bike, and now I convinced him we're going to go and do swim lessons together. So it changes this mentality of I can't to I can. So that's definitely a great change for your family as well. So how it works, you probably noticed the odd times of when sessions are starting. It's because each session is 75 minutes long. It's a study of that's the best time that's optimal for learning. It's Monday through Friday. Every single day is important, so it's very important to be on time. We really want them to be on the bikes because that's actually what's going to do the teaching for them. We don't do any sort of very minimal. It's, you know, you think about when you learn to ride a bike, there's that moment where you just get it, regardless of what anyone says to you, and they have to feel that moment as well. There's 4 to 8 riders in each session, so we'll be keeping a very close eye on the small classes. Each rider has their spotter that's going to be working with them throughout the week. We will assign spotters to the rider. You're going to get your buddy, and they're going to be your buddy for the week. We really like to keep them with that same person to create that sense of consistency. Sometimes on a Monday, we see maybe these personalities don't mesh too well. We have to switch some things around. So it's never an insult to the spotter. The same way where you and I could get along, but maybe you and I don't, and it's nothing. It's just personalities mesh well, and sometimes they don't. So be flexible with us in that. But that's kind of how the daily routine works. We have summer camps. This is what you are a part of. It's a week-long camp where we have at most 40 riders in a camp, and it's 5 sessions a day, all day long. The hosts range from different parks and recs to the ARC to the Down Syndrome Association. Each local city has their own different organization that's hosting a camp. We also offer after-school programs. I was a part of those in Fairfax County, Virginia. It's a really cool program. It's run the same way, except that it's 1 session. And again, 4 to 8 participants. The volunteers are their peer classmates. It's elementary age, so it's 7th and 8th graders. And their spotters are their classmates. So I go through an hour training with all of those spotters and really get to know them and explain what a disability is, how to communicate with somebody who may not use words, anything along those lines. And then the camp starts and we run the camp. And I always say the spotters come in with this helping mentality. I'm going to help this kid learn how to ride. And they leave with a friend. Because they're like, he's awesome, and now I want to ride my bike with him, or she did it, I can't believe it. And, they're saying things like, I can't believe, I never knew how to talk to this person before, and now I'm saying hi to him in the hallway. I had a special ed teacher tell me, all of our kids always sit together in the classroom, and she's like, all of your Lose the Training Wheels are in the cafeteria. All your Lose the Training Wheels volunteers came over and sat and had lunch with their riders. And talk about life-changing at such an early age. The spotters get just as much benefit from the program as the riders do. They get a sense of empowerment for being a part of somebody learning to ride, a sense of inclusion, an ability to be a part of something and giving back to the community. All of those things these kids are getting at a 7th and 8th grade level. The in-school program that we run it's in the adapted PE class. It's 1 session. So prior to us coming, they kind of go through what to buy, or how to put on your helmet and safety, things like that. We run the camp, and then they practice in their PE class as the year goes on. The students that volunteer, they get a PE credit for it, because they're running behind them, chasing them, cheering them on. So that's the benefit of that, but the other great part is that you can have cycling in their IEPs. It's a measurable goal in their IEP. So that's what the in-school program is. They do that up in Chicago, and the after-school programs in DC. We'd love to spread that around because it is such a huge benefit, especially at that age level. So the roller bike, which you guys can kind of see over there, It's a little bit different than a two-wheel bike, and that's what really is our success. We progress each individual they all learn at a different rate. So some are going to be moving through the rollers fairly quickly. Some need a little bit of time to kind of get a feel for what the bike's teaching them. So we ask that you don't compare because it's very individualized. We have a lesson plan for all of our riders who walk through that door. The changes on the bike are very subtle. You may not even notice that we are making changes, but we move them pretty quickly. All of our transitions happen pretty quickly, but most of it is we don't talk about it. We don't talk about what level they're on, and when we're doing a change, this is going to be more wobbly, mainly because that can create fear and anxiety. So all the things we do, we cheer them on, give them positive. We just create this positive sense of learning for them, and that's how the roller bikes work. After the roller bikes, on Tuesday, Monday is just the roller bikes, and on Tuesday we get out our tandem bike, which Pete will be doing the tandem bicycle rides with them, and it's the rider in front and Pete in back. We have full control of it, but we give them as much independence on the bike as they can. We really kind of get a gauge of where they're at and what they're doing, so we really know how to coach them as the week goes on. It's a huge benefit for the riders. Typically, they all are very excited about it and love it and ask for it as the week goes on, because they get that sense of riding a two-wheel bike, the wind in their face, and the excitement of it. So it's a very cool kind of break in the training that we use. We sometimes use it for motivation later in the week if they need that as well. But there is the occasional rider who's not interested. We do our best to get everyone on it because it is so beneficial. I think out of all the years I've done it, I can count on one hand how many I could not get on it at all. But it's not a make it or break it thing. So a lot of those kids it was a big scary bike and they weren't interested in it. But like I said, it's not make it or break it. We really do want them to be on there, but if not, it's not the end of the world. So that's a good day to bring your camera because you can see a lot of really good photo opportunities there. On Wednesday will be our first day that we'll get some of the riders on one of our bikes with a handle on the back. So we'll work with them in here first, have them get that confidence. Sometimes a rider gets up on Wednesday and not quite ready, we'll get them back on the roller bike. It's not that they won't ever get it again. It's just one of those things where we get them up and they're not quite there, and that's okay. We'll give them another try later on in the week. Each rider will get a try on a two-wheel bicycle before it's all said and done. So on Wednesday we get them up on a two-wheel bike in here, teach them braking, and master braking when we move outside. Braking first, then outside. We really try to break down those transitions quickly. Again, just because we want them to be able to move on without a whole lot of anxiety. So it's great job, we're going to go now, let's move on outside. Again, all of that positive and reinforcement. Some of the additional riding skills we'll work with them is some navigating, working on their turns, but also self-starting. Self-starting is one of those skills that can cause a lot of problems. It's a hard skill to learn. Sometimes they don't always get it before the week's end. Those are things that you guys practice with them at home. If you think about anything, new skills they've tried to learn, it takes a while to learn those skills. So riding a bike is no different. To be able to do it that quick, get the bike, all of those additional skills will come as they practice. The family bikes, which you guys have all seen, those selecting a suitable bike, we really want to transition them to their own family bikes, again, because that breaks down another thing that you guys don't have to deal with when you go home. We want your riders to be on their family bikes and feeling confident instead of, I can ride a bike, can't bike, but there's no way I'm riding that bike. Or I can ride in the gym, but there's no way I'm going outside. A lot of times they'll do things for us that they may not do for you guys, so we try to break down those transitions so that way you guys are successful at home. So another thing that you guys can all expect is all of the riders have to wear a helmet. Anybody who sits their bottom on a seat has to have a helmet on. We ask that you guys do that at home as well. It's really important. You only get one brain and it's important to be safe. So everyone will have a helmet at bike camp. It is, again, an individual progression, so everybody's going to be learning at a different rate. The bikes are fit for learning, so if you look at them and it seems like they're kind of sitting low, it's really because we want them to be able to put their feet safely on the ground. So they are fit a little bit low. It may seem like they're crammed on there, but we do have Pete sizes all of them up and gets them ready to go. On Monday, if you guys have a family bike, go ahead and